Hi, everyone. I'm Doug Alsdorf. Let's have a look at the importance of your company 401k. And then after watching this short video, please watch the videos and read the PDFs for chapters 4 and 14. So there's some variables when we have a look at your 401k and its importance to your investing life. And the variables are your salary during the next several decades of your investing life. And we can have a look at your salary in more detail in chapter 3. How much is the company going to contribute to your 401k is an important variable. Generally speaking, if you Google, you'll find between 3 and 5% of your annual salary is how much the company will contribute to your 401k. How much are you contributing out of your own pocket to your 401k? And of course, what are the investment growth rates? And I encourage you to have a look at figure 11.2, where I will show you that the investment growth rates that I'm going to use in this presentation are 7% and 10.5%. The very important point for this presentation is we're not trying to predict or even really guess your future. We're just trying to get a sense of the importance of these tax-deferred investing accounts, and especially the importance of the company contribution to your retirement. So we're going to have a look at two scenarios. Let's start with this one. In this scenario, we're going to have a modest salary. You're going to start out at $45,000 per year, and your salary will grow at 3% annually. The company will put in 2% of that. So 45,000 times 2%, the company will put in $900 as a starting point. And that money is strictly from the company, is not from you. It's free money. Your contribution, however, we're going to have that start at $5,000 per year, and that does come out of your income. That might be kind of tight. That's why I want you to have a look at chapter 6 to understand budgeting to see what that is like for your overall budget. And again, the growth rates for investing we'll look at are 7% and 10.5%. Have a look at figure 11.2 to learn more about where those numbers come from. So if you start off with a salary of $45,000 per year and it increments annually at 3%, then after 40 years, you will be making nearly $150,000 per year when you retire at age, say, 65. If you are contributing from your salary $5,000 per year, also incrementing it at 3% per year, and then after 40 years, you will be contributing $16,000 per year. Your company, however, they're doing 2% of 45,000. That starts at $900, but it increments at 3% a year for 40 years. Then after 40 years, they will be contributing nearly $3,000 to your retirement. Now, how do these numbers all add up to create your overall investment portfolio inside of your 401k? We can use figure 4, formula 4 here from the investing formula spreadsheet. That's where all these purple boxes are coming from the investing formula spreadsheet. So we'll have the growth rate here set at 7%. Your contribution is $5,000 per year, but we're going to increment that contribution at 3% annually for 40 years. That will all add up to nearly $1.5 million. But how much is your company contributing? Well, they're starting at $900 per year, contributing, incrementing, I should say that, at 3% per year. We're going to invest it so that it makes 7% per year for a total of 40 years. They have contributed nearly, oh, well, actually more than $250,000 to your retirement, and it had nothing to do with your own income, meaning it didn't come out of your pocket. It came out of the pocket of your employer. So it is free money at 7%. Now, all I'm going to do is just take these two formulas and change the 7% to 10.5%. Let's watch how the company contribution changes. Now they're nearly two-thirds of $1 million if investment growth rates are 10.5% on average for 40 years. That's an amazing contribution going to your retirement that you did not have to create. It came from the company itself. And of course, adding together the numbers, this would be an amazing achievement on a modest salary, having $4 million invested by the time you retire. Now let's have a look at a different scenario. Let's say somebody starts at a higher salary, let's say $60,000 per year, and instead of growing at 3%, it grows at 3.5% per year. The company we're going to still have, say they're still only going to match at 2%. And again, you can Google and find that some companies are actually matching at 3, 4, and 5% of your salary. There are other formulas that the companies use to create their match. I encourage you to Google and learn. Your contribution in this scenario is going to start at $7,000 instead of $5,000, but we're going to keep those same investment growth rates. So $60,000 Here we're using Formula One for reference. $60,000 growing at 3.5% a year for 40 years means you'll be making nearly $250,000 by the time you retire per year. That would be amazing. Your lump sum starting point is $7,000 per year, incrementing at 3.5% for 40 years. At the end of 40 years, you will be contributing $28,000 per year. Your company starts at $1,200 per year in their contribution, also incrementing at 3.5% for 40 years. By the time you are nearing retirement, they'll be contributing nearly $5,000 per year. Investing those monies at the investment rate of, say, 7%, your contributions of $7,000 per year incrementing as noted, you may have over $2 million just from your investments. But your company, with their starting at $1,200 and incrementing that for 40 years, your company will contribute over a third of $1 million to your investments. If we change that 7% to 10.5%, you on your monies alone will make maybe 5 million, but look how much your company is contributing. Nearly $900,000 coming strictly from the company, does not come out of your income, does not come out of your pocket, so to speak. So to summarize, the company is freely contributing hundreds of thousands of dollars to your 401k, and nothing in your 401k is taxed until withdrawal. All those numbers I was just showing you, those are numbers that increment because of those formulaic approaches, but none of the money is taxed until withdrawal. I encourage you to read the noted chapters. I hope this has been helpful to you.